It's funny that you mentioned Pan Africa because our next topic it involves Umar, aka the Prince of Pan Africa. um, I saw this clip, and he was talking to Nick Cannon, and sometimes I know this ain't the first time they've been doing this for like a couple times when they're on a podcast and they talk to each other. And this one was very interesting because he brought up Umar brought up Nick Cannon and Mariah's marriage, and I thought this was a listen, so I would like y'all to listen to this too.
I mean, you don't want her back.
Okay, so
you're still there,
and
that's why nobody else can get a piece of your heart because it belongs to Mariah.
We're in a safe space, right? We're being vulnerable,
absolutely.
Right? We just can't.
We in the man cave.
I don't want to start shit that I don't need to start. So ultimately, what I'll say, I divorced my wife.
You initiated?
Yes.
Why?
So in that, because it goes back to what I was saying before, where I was talking about the man that I am.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is, years of therapy. The man that I am, the man that I was before I was married, I feel like I lost my identity and who I was once I became
a husband.
A husband.
And
the husband I became was Mr. Mariah Carey.
So are you telling me that you let the public's opinion influence how you function in your marriage?
It wasn't the public's opinion, but that was part of it because it wasn't. I could care less about
understood
what people thought.
But because of who she is, you knew going in.
Because I didn't feel like a man.
Because of what?
So many things. Initially.
Give me two things.
Financially.
But you knew going in.
Yeah. But did I go in with the right intentions?
Did you?
I had to ask myself those questions.
Did you?
I believe I went in for love, but in the sense of like what my life, because you got to think at the time, I'm a man in my 20s.
Mm-hmm.
I'm enamored. Mm-hmm. I'm in awe.
Mm-hmm.
Of the greatest presence of a woman that I have ever witnessed.
Yes, sir.
And so I could have been clouded by just the idea of love. The hopeless romantic in me was like, I gotta get this right. I gotta figure this. This is a blessing from the Most High, regardless of what the scenario was. So again, in spending time and figuring out like, man, was I blinded by the idea?
What's the age gap? How many years?
About a decade.
Okay. Is it possible that you didn't believe you deserved her?
Absolutely. 100%.
So there was a self-esteem
That's
piece.
what I'm saying. That's where I'm going back to.
Okay.
On many levels of this is someone that is out of my league. This is someone that is more mature than I am. This is someone who has all the things she desires in life is completely different than my desires. So then, therefore, when I'm in this scenario, I'm like, ooh, am I losing myself? So in that, and I'll take it this one step further, because then we'll go to those spaces of once I did come out of the marriage, my behavior then became to prove all of those things that I may have feared within my marriage, is that I can provide, I can do for others in an abundant way. So therefore, possibly being the reasons why I choose multiple partners and choose to take care of multiple people and create such a vast and large family.
What is the reason?
Because I wanted to prove to myself that I could do it.
But that don't mean you don't.
Now imagine having one of the baddest women on the planet and you fumbled. Before I get my thoughts, Father, do you have anything to say about what we just listened to?
I do, but I want you to go first.
You want me to go first?
Please.
Nigga, you full of shit. Nigga, you full of shit. Look, I've been. Don't get me wrong. With one of my exes, I've been there where sometimes even when you bag her, you feel like, damn, like I done bagged this woman and she's just out of my league, and you know you have so many doubts as a man. This and that. I've been there. Trust me when I say this. I've been there. That part I kind of understand, but at the same time, you was making money. It's not like you was like leeching off of her or you was mooching off of her. You made money too. Was it Mariah Carey money? No. She is set for life with All I Want for Christmas Is You. Like all of like but during that time he got married, you was on TV. You was in movies. You was doing America's Got Talent. So it's not like you wasn't making money. So what is it that you felt inferior for? You married an icon. An icon, which is just one of the most beloved people ever. One of the most beloved singers
The
ever.
greatest biracial to ever live.
Yes. Next to Derek Jeter. But and like I can understand the Mr. Mariah Carey jokes, but that's because of who she is. That's her status. But at the same time, it's just like you was still Nick Cannon. You still like Wild and Out was building up. You had all these things, so no one wasn't looking at you like a bum. No one was looking at you as lesser. Yes, the jokes was there, but most of the jokes because you came off as corny and you embraced the corniness. So that kind of wore off. So so I don't. It's like the reason for you to even divorce her. I'm sitting here like because you didn't feel like a man, even though you was accomplishing things, you didn't feel like a man. Why did she have to? It seemed like it wasn't what your problem was had nothing to do with Mariah, and that's the biggest problem. It's like what you was feeling had anything to do with Mariah, and you bagged her. Not only that, you gave her kids. So obviously she wasn't tripping about that, and I'm pretty sure, like, yeah, she's very high. She looks very high maintenance and all that other stuff. Like I said, you was still making your millions. You was still on TV. You was still doing your thing, to where like I think even if you still was with her, like your life wouldn't have changed so much trajectory because you always put yourself in these things. Mariah is always going to make her money. Shout outs to ASAP Rocky. And this is the shit I'm talking about. Sometimes I think when you get to a point where you make so much money, you don't have to worry about um finding. And this is just me going off the break, but I'm pretty sure they just look at you as your personality because even when you was talking about their divorce, it was just like it wasn't even an ugly divorce. It was just cool. And I think even then you're still cool, and I think Umar was right. His heart is still belong with Mariah. And even with you, and he bagged her. And don't get me wrong, Nick Cannon impregnated a bunch of nice looking women. But none of them hold a stature to Mariah. First of all, looks or like money or whatever. It's just like you just bagged her. But I feel like you just wanted to get your dick wet and then just have many kids or some shit like that. So that's why I feel like when I hear this and hear him explain himself, he's full of shit. Though I can understand the self-esteem thing, but at the same time, no one was really pressing you on that shit. I think most niggas, if anything, most people was jealous because you bagged Mariah. I know,
Yes.
especially like Kevin Hart was like, it was a running joke, but even Kevin, but you could say Kevin Hart was like how most motherfuckers felt. It was like, damn, this nigga done back Mariah Carey. What the fuck does he see in it? And he
Like this
probably,
corny ass nigga.
huh?
Like this corny ass nigga back Mariah.
Hell yeah! It was like this corny ass nigga back Mariah, and like you, oh boy, I'm gonna end it here, but yeah, you full of shit, mechanic. Go ahead, father.
All right, Ray. I hear you, but I'm gonna ask you to give brother Nick some grace, and I'm gonna explain why.
Okay.
Number one, he was young. You feel what I'm saying? He was young,
He was.
and being young and that successful at his age is not just hearing shit and then being able to let it go. You feel what I'm saying? Every time Mariah Carey step out, you stepping out with her, even if you're not physically with her. You feeling what I'm saying? So what I think it really was for real, the weight of Mariah Carey's fame was kind of suffocating him. Imagine, Ray, just imagine in a hypothetical situation, you was with Jade Cargill. And Jade Cargill is the WWE Women's Championship. But not only that, she's getting endorsements for she's going to the BET Awards. You know what I'm saying? She's going to motherfucking the Oscars and shit like that. And whole time for real, you kind of like you make videos and movies. You feel what I'm saying? You're not big, but you're respectable, right? But every time Jay Cargill steps out, like it's not just her. You feeling what I'm saying? So I feel like with Nick Cannon, the weight of her fame was just too heavy to the point where he was blinded and he started to doubt who he was and his ability to take care of shit. Cause, bro, I want you to imagine Nick Cannon probably wants to go do some man shit like fucking mow the lawn or something. And then Mariah Carey's like, oh, baby, don't worry about that. We'll just hire somebody to do it. Because she has all the fucking money in the world.
Right.
Or Nick Cannon wants to go, you know what I'm saying, split logs or something. And then Mariah Carey's like, man, you don't need to do that. That was done like hours ago. You were asleep, though. Because she has the money. Imagine if Nick Cannon wanted to motherfucking just take Mariah out to a nice motherfucking date. A nice, simple date. No bullshit. Just two people that like each other going out on a date. But every time Mariah Carey step outside is a huge motherfucking paparazzi. Right? And when you actually go into the restaurant, Mariah's like, don't worry, baby, I got it. Because she has all the money in the world. So then what is your purpose? You know what I'm saying? You're kind of like just there. So I understand where he's coming from and why he feel like he had to divorce her to find himself. Now, where I think he's full of shit, like he said, is impregnating all of those women. Because you didn't have to do that.
You did.
You really didn't have to do that. You could have just found a woman that, you know, met you where you was at and then just had a family with her. But I feel like you getting multiple women and sleeping around and then you saying, I just feel like I had to prove to myself that I could take care of shit. And I'm like, bro, and this was your great idea? Having a whole bunch of children?
Building a bunch of broken homes. And I know you could take care of them, but you still broken homes.
Yeah. You can take care of them, but just because you can take care of them doesn't mean that you're going to be there for them.
Right.
You're only one man, and these multiple baby mamas got their own lives. They in their own space. They in their own place and shit like that.
Not to mention, it's going to be hard for them to find mates because your baby daddy's Nick Cannon.
So now you are Mariah Carey. And don't you see the irony in this?
Yep.
He left Mariah Carey
to be Mariah Carey,
only to become Mariah Carey times like 4 or 5. And when his children grow up, oh, it's going to be a reality show and all of them is going to be like, bruh, it's probably going to be some resentment because, you know, you got Mariah's kids and then you got this kid and then that kid and then this kid and then that kid. There might be some resentment because it's like, wow, my dad didn't really see me much, but he was always with you type shit. Or, you know, I didn't feel like I knew my dad that much because of this person. Or, you know, maybe the baby mamas might get into it and then one kid can't see the other kid.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's a lot of risk that's associated with it. And I'm not saying this to try to judge Nick Cannon or anything. That's I fuck with Nick Cannon, but yeah. And you could tell Umar was gonna psychoanalyze the fuck out of him.
Right.
Because he already hit the nail in the head and he said, "You still love Mariah, nigga. It's written all over your face. That's the one that got away for real, for real. You still love that girl."
He didn't get away. He threw it away.
Yeah, he threw it away. Thank you, Ray. But he didn't throw it away because he didn't want her. He threw it away because I am a man. But yeah, that's all I got to say. It's just yeah.
Okay, and I'm not gonna lie. I gotta tell you this story. You obviously met my little sister, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, like, she been through relationships where, like, the men that she was with, like, some of them they broke up with, even though they was doing fine. One of them she broke up with, and then he went on this whole spill. Says, "I just gotta find myself as as a man, and would you wait for me?" She, like, my sister, she's a Taurus, by the way, and it pissed her
My
off.
sister also Taurus.
We have Taurus sisters, so shout out to the homie Kayla. So, like, Kayla was going through this with her Spanish boyfriend at the time. I'm not gonna say his name, but you know who he is. And she told me that he said, "Would you?" Yeah, he gave her the same joke. "Would you wait for me?" I said. She told me that. I put her on the phone with my little sister, and let me tell you, like, I've never heard my little sister rant/vent to at that tone. But
I think I was there for that.
No. You wasn't there for that because we was in a car together, and
okay, never mind. There's something.
I had Kayla on speakerphone. I said, "I want you to tweet my." And I literally was like, "I want you to talk to my little sister." She went through the same shit. She explained to her. My sister said, "Oh, hell no," and it just started. It was all down here from there, and but it was funny as hell, and like, um, she gave us some solid advice, but it's the same thing. It's just like, I want to say this, and I want to end this on this. Sometimes I understand. Sometimes we feel inferior. Sometimes we feel like we're not living up to the standards that we fucking set out all the times. But if your woman or your man, because could be either way, is patient with you enough that, like, yo, I'm gonna ride this out for you till you figure it out. The first thing you don't do is let them go when they're not the problem. And it's the same thing I had with Tia Mowry. Like, if your husband was great and he was doing this, he was an amazing father and all that other stuff, and you felt like you wasn't finding yourself, why does he have to suffer? Why does she have to suffer? And that's the stupid thing. It's like, and like, this, honestly, like I said, with one of my relationships, I felt that way. But at the same time, it's just like, it's not fair for me to do that because I'm punishing her and she's supporting me. So wake the fuck up. Go in there and love her like you're supposed to. Because if she felt like you was slipping off, she would tell you. And the same thing is just like, but if you feel like you need to find yourself, go find yourself, but don't make that person suffer with you, especially if they're riding with you. So just sometimes you need the support. Sometimes I understand we have to go on journeys by ourselves, but if you don't need to, you don't need to. So, any last words before we move on to our next topic?
Nigga, if I was in Nick Cannon's position and I was with Mariah Carey, I'm not divorcing shit.
No, you good.
Okay.
And like,
I'm not divorcing shit.
I've heard Mariah Carey talk. I'm pretty sure she would tell you about yourself, even if you didn't. But I guarantee you, I guarantee you, he saw his bank account, she saw his bank account, and I'm pretty sure he felt like shit. But I don't know, because I think maybe it's just I'm that type of person. Like, yeah, you can make twice as much money as me, but I'm still getting money. I can understand if I was dead broke. But if I'm still getting money, I'm still getting money. If I could like, because even with like with one of my exes, yeah, she made twice as much as me, but I was still taking her out to dinner. I was still paying for things. I was still like when we drive and she was driving, I go fill the tank up. I still did things as a man that I was supposed to. And it's just like, because okay, she made more than me. So what? I'm still a good dude. So let me show her how a good dude, how a good dude treats you. So don't sometimes I think I know money is important, but sometimes we let that throw off our game. Don't let her making more money throw off your game, brothers. If you're a good dude, just keep being a good dude.
Yeah, I hear you. Bruh, at the end of the day, always remember, I am a man.
The SpongeBob, I am a man.